Susan. And good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today and talking to you and sharing a little bit about my experience. So I'm the one that told Susan that the word for PMM is clueless. And then you know what I'm gonna tell? Yes, until now, as much as I learn, I see that I'm clueless. What happened is even listening to these presentations, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to learn and learn more and more. That's our role every single day. It's interesting too to say that I'm clueless because just a little bit about my career, right? So guys, you can see that I look super young, right? Of course, super young. My boss always tell me that. But yeah, so I work around 20 years in IT organization. I was that person that was download data and helping business organizations and installing software and configuring, doing a lot of stuff. I love technology, right? And then at some point in my career, and I did all that you can think about in IT organizations, so good background. But then at some point, I want to be a product manager, right? And I was working at Hewlett-Packard, and then I was going towards the product management role that I kind of worked a little bit before. And then I was talking to some product managers, and they're we don't have an opening now, but we have an opening for a product marketing manager. I was like, what the hell is that? Come and interview with us because I think you're going to be a good fit. That time I was a solution architect, right? Software engineer, and I did professional services. I knew very well the tool. Yeah, come and work for us as a technical product marketing, do some demos for our analysts. And I used to do that. I was like, let me interview. I have no clue what I'm interviewing for, right? And then I went to this pragmatic class. First day class, and they say, what do you do? I'm a PMM for PPM, because my product was project management solution. So the person looked at me like, what? And I thought that they knew, no. But anyway, so in that story is my first time class in the pragmatic course. The instructor said, I don't know anything about marketing. I don't know anything about PMM. And now I understand why she said that, because this evolves every day. There is new things every day, and you need to catch up with that. So it's a very cool role to work on because you have challenge and you have to discover and be creative and being meetings like this to learn about. So what I'm going to show and talk to you guys is what I discovered through my career in product marketing management. So by the end of the day, I love this area, and I will say, I'm so glad that I didn't go to product management team because they are boring. This is fun. Thank God, and I don't want to change, Anyway, so let's talk about being strategic here and cracking the code. So I think I cracked the code, but of course, I've been learning from everyone here in this presentation. So what has changed in the last 8 years, right? So I start in a product that we have no money at all, working Hewlett-Packard software, 300 softwares, products, tons of PMMs, and there was priorities, right? So I compete even with products inside of the own company. And then was challenged that time already because I had no budget at all. And what do I do, right? In this large corporation, this product, I'm new, I don't have money, right? But I have this IT knowledge, So what I did is let me go and look at data. But since there, a lot of things has changed, the marketing has changed, digital transformation is coming, Industry 4.0 is here, the way to do business changed. So there's tons of things going on right now, right? And everyone is fighting for the same persona. So a quick question, how many of you guys are responsible for a software product, a product software? Yeah? Wow, a good number. How many of you guys are going after developers? Oh, I'm surprised because I always see everyone going after developer or even CIO. A lot of people going after CIOs. I mean, poor guys, tons of companies going to the same persona and, you don't get there. But, another thing that I learned is throwing things in the wall are inefficient. So as a new product marketing, years ago, right? I'm like, I'm gonna do some kind of nice campaign. Oh, actually, first of all, I proved that my product was very good with data, right? And there was a lot of visibility through some analytics on Google, right? In terms of people going to my website, and I was able to tell to my manager and people in the company, look, this product is important. We need to give priority. So I got some money, and I worked with marketing to do a retargeting campaign, and I got a lot of money. And we went to retargeting. And you know what? We burned the money in 6 weeks. Because these retargeting campaigns, you know what they do? They burn your money. How many of you guys sometimes go to a website, and then when you go, doing something else, we start to receive tons of the same advertisement? I do that all the time. And you know what? That's money that you're throwing out from your company. So again, I did a lot of types of, campaigns, and I've been working with marketing, providing collaterals and sales and everything all siloed, and I was not getting results, right? Because throwing things in the wall are inefficient. But then another point is, we are not in a moment of a great depression. We are in a moment of a great disruption. And everyone is on the go, 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 go. And how do you change this, right? How you focus and bring this strategy and value? And I have great leaders. Actually, my boss is sitting there too, great leader, Divi. And in my career, always great leaders. And they were always sometimes telling me, Sylvia, you need to be a little bit more strategic. What did they mean? I have no idea, but let's try this again, right? And then I think I finally got it, right? It's about bringing value, right? It's bringing value in what you do. And this is applicable for any area that you're going to work on. And some experience from IT, optimization, and, working in bringing the values for the company and seeing the results, not just throwing things in the wall. So I kind of start thinking about that. And then how many of you are running against time to deliver what you need to? How much is in a rush, right? I am sometimes too. So important point here, when you think about strategy, you need to stop. And I like what Mary did this morning, right? Just stop. You don't need to close your eyes. You don't need to think about work right now. And you just stop and breathe. And then now your mind is already a little bit more clear. Just to do this kind of, stop. Let's stop for everything that's going on around me. I have tons of deliverables. I have tons of emails. I have time frames, timelines. That's what you need to do in your job. You need to stop and then explore. Give your mind some time to digest what you're doing, and then change to a strategic point. You're going to come back with so many tips. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. But again, sit down at your desk and think, what is the value? What do I need to do to bring value to the company? And the value comes with agility. So you optimize what you're doing. So I'm going to give you some tips in how to do it, right? This is working for me. Tomorrow, I might come back with something else, right? I'm learning some things from this conference. So 3 steps here. First, again, think strategically where you want to go. You cannot decide, or you cannot get your destination again if you don't know where you're going to go. So define your strategy and focus on your strategy. Second, when you decide where you're going to go, it's like getting a map. Okay, so I have all these routes to go, and it takes time, but I'm going to take this route, and then the route can even change along the way. That's okay, but at least the first few steps to get out of the house, I have it. So it's like you have a board with a lot of pieces, right? And then you're going to focus in one. And then, of course, you move to automation, optimization, and transformation. Okay, so this is a very, I would say, good 3 points to apply in everything that you do, not just product marketing. So step 1, okay, so think strategically. And this is something that Mary and also Karen, they share a lot about analytics, right? You need to understand the data. And you know what? I love the presentations that they did, and everyone is scared of data. Everyone is like, where do I start? It's all good idea, all takes time. But you know, I'm gonna give you some very simple tips here in how I did it. So this is kind of what you're doing at Boomi, but I did also in Hewlett Packard, and I start with the most simple thing, you know, to understanding my customer, the sales, the behavior, what's working, what's not, right? My simple point was get an account on Salesforce, create a report, download the data, put in Excel spreadsheet, and do all the analysis that you need. It's just basically analyzing the fields that you want, analyzing the data that you want to get out from there, and then start from scratch. If you don't start from some place, nobody's going to start. It's going to take forever, and you're going to be doing over and over your job, and you're not going to provide any value for the company, period. And this is the era of the data. We are responsible to bring this intelligence in your companies. If you don't have the bandwidth again, maybe you can have someone in the company bring over and focus on that. So at Boomi it was even easier because Boomi is a platform that brings data together. So they already have this data warehouse, and that was amazing. So think about your CRM, Salesforce, or other tools that you might have there, right? Or legacy tools. Think about also the product usage. Guys, your R&D already have this data. It's just about talking to them and getting data. ERP orders. So what's the revenue? What's the information? Sales already have that information, right? You can also collaborate and just get access on that information. And then also finance, right? You want to kind of collect all this data together. And then again, as I mentioned, at Boomi, good news, they already have that. So they have something that we call Cube, and it's a simple repository where we bring all this data together, and then I can create anything with any BI solution and analyze the data. So another piece of information, guys. I went back to school last year. It's crazy, totally crazy, right? But I thought that, you know, even at this age, I was like, I need to recycle my knowledge. A lot of things are happening. So I went back to school doing my MBA in analytics and design thinking, and I am in love. And pragmatic marketing, they are not pragmatic marketing, they are pragmatic institute, and they have analytics classes. So go do some classes in analytics. Go do some classes in Excel spreadsheet. Don't be afraid about data. Download your own data and start massaging, because you know what's necessary. You need to start at some point. And this is super key. Even at Hewlett Packard, I was able to collect this data. I found like a team that was data warehouse in India, and they were super nice. They would provide every single information that I needed. So that's the base, and that's the tip of today. Get out of your comfort zone, get the data, and start doing something. The second piece is 360 market research. So again, with this school now and doing some advertising here, I went back to SMU, right? Amazing school with amazing library. I'm like, oh, wow. And then find where you can find the data. There is millions of information out there that you can leverage, right? And then it can combine that information. What is the trends of the marketing that you are working? What are your personas? What they are talking? What the reviews? So you can find all that information and then bring it together as well. Maybe you even look in your library from your alumni university, right? Who knows? But even your company, our company also sign up for analyst research, but I can go even one level up. Never trust Google. If you go to Google and find research, go always to the source, because the source might be your competitor. So be careful, okay? So map the results to the solution. So you do this research, you map with the solutions that you have in your company, and then you define the themes. Some people call that sales plays, right? So how am I gonna go to market? I'm gonna go to market with these themes. And these themes, they change over time because there is new technologies, there is disruption. It's a constant thing. And you know, something like that, if you get more depth, you can do this very fast. And then you get used to do this, and then you get faster and faster. It's super, big and nice, because you can get so much information and create a very clear, good strategy. And then the last point here is validate. So it's very important to validate, and I'm so happy at Boomi because people are so excited about this and the results that even other people are offering. Oh, I can talk to my customer about this. I can talk to this agency or this community, and that we can validate this information in different parts and see if that works. Even my sales organization, they are into now validate my concepts, my themes. Everyone working together. Step number 2. So you have your strategy, you validate your strategy, your themes. Now you have your board, and you see I have 10 trends in the world now that I can talk about. You cannot work on the 10, so pick your battles, pick what you're strong on, or solution or product, and combine that and go to market with that particular one. And start with one theme if that's the case. Not a lot of themes, because you're gonna get lost. Get the theme or the sales play that's gonna be your campaign, right? You prioritize, and then this is a concept about agile, scale agile, right? It's focus on the strategy, pick your battles in terms of what you're gonna create as a product. So here your campaign, right? And then you focus on that, and you're gonna create a minimum viable campaign. So we start small, see if it works, pilot, and then interact like agile environment, right? And then you have to basically work with multiple teams if you need, but that's a way to start. And then I would definitely recommend you guys to learn more about MVP in the scale agile. It's very good a way to kind of get things going and fast. So prioritize and be specific about the markets. And then with that, design your value prop. So I'm responsible also now for one product and a solution, industry manufacturing. So I did all this research, and it was not a lot of time, I will tell you, it was fast. I analyzed the data, I did some research on analyst reports, got the themes, got the trends, and then I put together my value prop, my message in 3 themes, and I'm focused just on one theme now. And then I went to market, right, with that. I'm saying I went to validate that, and then we are working in a campaign in pieces of that. Another point that is important for you to know when you are doing your GTM, go to market, is what's your priority? A lot of times you do a lot of it top of the funnel, but you know what? You basically have your ads going on, and then the customer gets interest, try your product, and what? Your sales doesn't even know that that campaign went out. They don't even know that that's the theme. They cannot even ask questions or interact with your customer. And then what happens? You lose your customer. So define what's your priority for you, right? So priority 1, 2, or 3, are you gonna go do a white space? That means cross-sell, upsell to your customer. Are you gonna do a partner ecosystem, or are you gonna do greenfield? So I went back to our management and I said, what is our strategy? Is more money or volume, less money? Right? Because you can have a lot of small deals if you go with white space, cross-sell, upsell. But you might not make a lot of money fast with greenfield. That's you find new customers. But there is another place that you can do a lot of money. That's the partner ecosystem, because they are ready in those enterprises. So it's a long, more term, but you can do a lot of money in that market. So you define how you're going to go to market, and then you need to work your priorities. So in this case, I'm working priority 1, white space, going after my install base, and also working very close with our partners because they are very strong for our solution. So lead acquisition. So this is very important. This is just an example, right? Because again, we think about top of the funnel, and our BDRs doesn't even know what's going on. And then they get a lead, they call, and who here received those calls? That's just a kind of annoying sometimes, right? And they are calling the wrong persona, right? So get your business develop representatives also train in your journey. So I have like all the phases, top, mid, end of the funnel, decision, and nurture. And what are your channels, what I need to create for each one of these areas, and also enablement that this should be done. And just as a curiosity here, for top of the funnel, in my previous role, we used to purchase low qualified leads and high qualified leads, right? Do you guys know what that means? What does that mean? So that basically is we get agencies to do an initial awareness and send basically papers to these personas, or do something kind of cool in terms of marketing, and then they call these people, do some interaction with them, and then they qualify and say, this is a hot lead for you. So we pay per lead. And then we engaged with an agency one time, and was very high price for these leads. They came to the BDRs, and then the business development, they were calling to identify opportunity, and they were not getting anything. So it's like, something is wrong. Is the way that I wrote the personas or the messaging? Let me check. And I even I got 10 leads, and I call as a business developer representative just to see, what's going on. Basically, like if it was the right persona, if the persona really have interest in the product. And again, there was disconnection. So I'm telling this challenge because we are throwing stuff out of the wall and not getting the major point, that's revenue, right? Again, go back to what's your objective. Your objective is bringing revenue, awareness, what you want to do. So focus. And then my objective is really to help the company to identify the lead and move the lead through the buyer journey so they can purchase, and then we can retain, and then we can make money and grow. Okay? And then another point is, if you go to the partner acquisition, right? So there is a lot of opportunity right there. A lot of companies, they do a lot of money because of their partners, especially in our case, and even Hewlett-Packard, technology companies, we work a lot with global systems integrators. And then also to infiltrate in these GSIs that we call our I6, right? It's not an easy thing. So again, you need to work very close with what's called partner marketing managers, and then make sure that we provide them the right information so they can map with that partner and make sure that they nurture that partner so they can sell. So I'll tell you, there is a lot of money because many enterprises, they do business with these large partners. So this is an example like how you can find the right place to apply your, your plan, your execution, and bring the results that you want. So here's just an example about like a partner ecosystem, large corporations, enterprise, how do you go after, and how you as a PMM get involved and provide also support in terms of collaterals and message for them. Otherwise, again, they have tons of other companies that are knocking the door and basically being partners with them and getting your revenue. So I also map the collaterals, right? So collaterals per organization that I need to work, like blogs, maybe articles, analysts, research reprints, they work very well, which are gonna have in campaigns, right? Like, so if a customer goes to my website, what I want to tell about the, not just the product and the solution, but maybe about that particular campaign. So one campaign that I'm working right at this moment is basically intelligent supply chain. So I'm working to have just one page, basically campaign page, right, with all that information, and that tracks the customer. So they go to a blog or they get InfoWiki article, then they move to this campaign page, that they move to another touch that is someone calling or email them, and then if there is an opportunity, move it to sales, and sales know what to talk about when they receive the lead about this particular theme. And then I have my milestones, right? Again, it seems like more like a waterfall, but no, it's iterative. It's more like agile because I have the campaign already, like you have kickoff, soft launch, and then review the full launch. But what happens is I'm doing like soft launch, then review, and implement more, evaluate what the results are, and implement more. So it's basically a cycle. And that's what the whole industry is going after. I mean, every single environment that you can think of industry, they are moving more to this kind of fast-paced processes to implement and execution. So we need to bring this also to our role. Otherwise, you're gonna just be running around and not providing results. So in that step 3, analyze, automate, and transform. So 100% I'm not there yet. We do just some postmodern, like Jivi mentioned yesterday, right? But if you don't get to this place, other people are gonna do it, and your company even, might not survive, because this is key for the next 10 years. This is trends, right? So it's basically automate and transform. And how do you do that? Basically, again, bring data from every place, right? And implement AI in your role. This is gonna happen. I mean, there is already some tools there, but it's like, collecting this data, and this data automatically telling you what to do, helping your decisions, or even decide for you, or decide and help decide per your personas. So there is a lot of tools out there, but the base to this is basically start from the step 1. So get a knowledge about like AI, or I would say even like where is your data? Start cleaning the data, start integrating, and then you are going to be ready to get to this level. You cannot get to this level if you don't do the step 1, right? And then again, let the system help you to decide. Automate and transform. This is definitely, means you can read any analyst, is the future in every single area. We need to be the innovators in the area of product marketing, and we need to bring this to our jobs as well. So just to remind you guys, think strategically. Again, I learned this. I have been doing hot yoga that I love it, right? And then I just like pause, sometimes my desk is like a mess, right? Especially going back to school now. And I'm like, okay, breathe. And then just when you breathe and stop, you already feel like a very good energy. And then you go back and like, okay, now I can think reasonable again, right? So think strategically, frame where to focus, create your MVC, minimum viable campaign. And yesterday, my friend Clint, he used MVC as well, but he was telling minimum viable change, right? I would call campaign in this case. Analyze, automate, and transform. Oh, and by the way, there is a bonus for you guys, right? PMM party, because once you're successful, right, everyone is successful. And I'm originally from Brazil, as a good Brazilian, right, and Carnival coming very soon, time to party, right? So that's the part of fun of this job. I love all the opportunities that we have, and of course, all the party that we also have with our jobs. So that's it. Susan?
Okay, well, I think you may have hit on the most important thing, which is instead of goat yoga, we can have PMM yoga, which might be a thing that would make us all some money. We have time for one question. Any questions?
Oh, actually, let me just put my LinkedIn here.
All right, I think you covered it. We're good to go, so thank you.